Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Heat Beat Garage. So, what we're going to be doing today is we're actually going to be working on the white Jeep. I'm sure y'all saw in a previous video where I was pressure washing this thing, got it all nice and clean. Well, I took it to work literally the following day, and I was on my way home, and this thing slung a drive shaft. Gone. Took out quite a bit of the exhaust while it was there. Screwed up a whole bunch of so yeah, apparently the U-joint left the chat. So I thought I had a drive shaft, which I do actually have one, right here. Here we go. This is the drive shaft that actually came out of the red Jeep, but I thought I had a different one, but as you can see, guys, this one's been welded and lengthened for the red Jeep when it had the 4.0 swap in it originally. So that one's not going to work, and the piece that I need, the coupler slash adapter where you could use the front drive shaft, is like $150. So I'm gonna probably be going to the junkyard, go scoop up a rear drive shaft for this thing, and I'm gonna be using all new U-joints. I also need to get a yoke for the rear end while I'm in there, but it messed up the whole entire exhaust so much to the point to where it literally broke the bolts off the collector of the header. So I was already having some previous problems with the header being cracked in a couple of different places off camera. So I was already gonna order an exhaust manifold for this and stuff, because if y'all, like, it's really really old and crusty. The gasket's pretty much gone. Like, it's really bad. So what we went ahead and picked up is one of these A premium exhaust manifolds. This thing right here. If y'all guys are wanting an upgrade for your 4.0, this comes with whole exhaust slash intake manifold gasket, the bolts, the washers, the little donut gasket at the end, and this header. Now this header has the expandable pipe section in it on either side. So problems to where your stock exhaust manifold is always cracking. You bought a new one. Let's say you spent like some money and actually bought like one like stainless or something like that, and it's still cracking. That's an actual OEM part upgrade, because it's got the relief chunks in there to where those each individual pipe can kind of move around. When they're mounted rigid like that, they usually crack right here at the bottom of this collector. I'm sure all y'all have seen it on the inside here, all the way around. It's usually where they crack. Sometimes they'll crack over here where each primary tube meets that one. So if you're wanting an upgrade, it's not gonna cost you a bunch of money. I think this whole thing was like $95. Really inexpensive for what you're gonna get into, and is a well worth upgrade while you're here for, you know, your 4.0. So I guess we're gonna go ahead and start tearing into this. I gotta pull this intake off, get all the wires out of here, undo the fucking power steering pump and all that, undo what's left of the 2 bolts of the exhaust down there so I can drop that down, and then it's pretty much unplug all these harnesses and start pulling bolts out, and then this whole intake manifold will go out. Same thing with the exhaust. The exhaust will stay in place. These can kind of be a pain if you've never done them before. You just need, basically give yourself as much room as you can on this side, because you're gonna need a really long extension to reach all the way back there. If you don't have power tools, it's really gonna be a pain too, especially because it looks like these bolts haven't came off in probably since 99 or 97, since they've been put on. So yeah, I'm gonna put y'all up. Let's get started. This right here is probably going to be your ticket. 14 mil wobble, short extension, and the old impact gun. Alright, now we can see the header a little bit better. Like I said, they like to crack around here. Each of these primary tubes, most of the time on the back side, right there. I don't know if y'all can see that. Right there. There's our huge crack. Now that one's pretty big, and then there's some more on the bottom side right here. But yeah, there's one more little nut on this back side right here. Don't forget that one. Obviously I couldn't get it with the intake manifold in the way. So it's just easier. Pull the it's just easier to pull the intake manifold out and then get to that last little one. And then pretty much after that, it's just those, as you can tell, one bolt, 2 bolt, like it wasn't even doing anything. That's how hard it hit it. So once I get that out, should be able to pull this right on up out of here, get that gasket out of here, get all this junk fucking cleaned up, clean the surface of the head and everything. And I'll probably clean up that intake just because I'm already here, might as well. Also, this would be a great time if y'all wanted to do like a little port and polish job, you can. I've did it to intake manifolds before, saw a pretty good significant gain, a little bit more horsepower. But you know, that's the seat of the pants. That's not no dyno proving that or anything. Like I said, you do with that information what you will. But this header is going to flow a lot better than this factory piece of junk ever did, just because of the design of it. It's a little bit bigger tubes, it's a little bit bigger. But you definitely won't have the cracking and stuff that you have out of your factory exhaust manifold. You're not going to have that with this one. I ran one on a green Jeep that I had for like 4 or 5 years. Never had no fucking problems out of it. It was absolutely great. And like I said, it was like 95 bucks. Comes with everything. The bolts, the nuts, the intake, and exhaust manifold gasket that goes to the side of the block, everything. Comes with everything. So can't really beat that kind of deal for 95 bucks. Really can't. So yeah, I'm gonna snag this off real quick, and then we'll clean up this intake manifold. For any of y'all wondering, this is a bronze wire wheel. It's not a steel wire wheel, so it's not as coarse as a normal steel one would be. So you can go ahead and use that on your engine blocks and stuff. Obviously on a low setting, don't fucking turn her up to high speed and expect you not to get pitting and stuff. But for small little gaskets and things like that on low speed, it's usually pretty good. We're gonna go ahead and clean up this intake manifold pretty much the same way. I'm gonna try to get in there with that. I got a couple different small ones too, and we'll go ahead and take care of that. All right, went ahead and got this thing all cleaned up. Shooting a coat of paint on it right now. For any of y'all wondering, it's VHT, high temperature enamel. What's the actual? There you go, cast iron. Gives it like a, I don't know, I wouldn't call it a hammered silver, but it's, I've used it a couple times. Really do like the color that it puts out. But yeah, here, let me show you the side. Went ahead and got a wire wheel in here, cleaned up a whole bunch of that stuff. There was a whole bunch of dirt and grime, which there still is. This block actually came from a rusty truck up in New York. Just a little bit of backstory. This Jeep, when I got it, transmission input seal was messed up. So I tried to fix it, didn't work out. So I had another Jeep that the body was completely gone off of. So the engine and transmission came out of that and got put into this. And then I sold the engine separately. And then I don't know what I did with the transmission. It's probably somewhere outside somewhere. But anyway, this engine's only got like 180, probably 190,000 miles on it now. It just looks, you know, bad because obviously it came from up north. But yeah, clean up a lot of that grime and stuff. So I know I said something about porting. This is what I'm talking about. For any of y'all wondering, this is your exhaust ports. That's your intake ports. Square ports are going to be intake. Round, semi, oval is going to be your exhaust. If you're going to port the exhaust, not the intake. Okay, cannot stress that enough. You want to do the exhaust side because that's obviously going to let air out. If you go porting the intake side, you don't want to make it smooth. You want to make sure that there's actually still, that's the best way I can describe this, like little gnarls in there. So basically, there's some kind of science behind it. I'm not all that well versed in it, but essentially what it does is it helps pre-break down the fuel that gets injected into that cylinder or whatever. So if you're looking for a stock tune and maybe you got some upgraded 4-hole injectors, do the exhaust side just to let air out. And you could honestly shave quite a bit off of it because just use the gasket as a guide. Like I said, I would tell you to put the gasket on there like it is now. Probably mark that out with a Sharpie. Really, really good. Silver Sharpie would be preferred. And then get in there with a die grinder and start taking care of it. And then vacuum it all out when you're done. I did do the exhaust on another one I had, and it seemed to work okay. So, yeah. Literally just gonna wait on that paint to dry. As soon as that dries, we're gonna go ahead and start slapping everything back in here. Yeah, I'll catch up to y'all then. Okay. Go ahead and get all your hardware and stuff out, just like that. Go ahead and throw this donut gasket on. Trust me, it's gonna make your life a lot easier. Go ahead and get you your washer and your bolt, the top side. The reason I'm wearing gloves is this thing is greased, and if you ever get that stuff off on your hands, it takes forever to get off. But there you go, just like that. ears coming down back there. You want to slide those in between the bolts and move it down, just like that. And go ahead and grab you a top bolt. And this will hold it in place for you. So that way you can go ahead and start. Bam, just like that. Then you go ahead and put all the rest of your bolts in. If any of y'all don't know, you want to go middle to out, kind of like a kind of an X. So boom, bang, bang, boom, from bottom to top or top to bottom. Really don't matter as long as it's an X. Whenever you go to go do it. Now all you got left is your exhaust. Like I said, 2 bolts on the bottom. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap that up, and then we'll get first start up, see how it sounds, see if we got any leaks. All right, went ahead and wrapped up the whole bottom side. Exhaust is all tight. Gonna plug up the negative terminal on the battery, and we'll check her for leaks. I'm gonna need to check the oil too while I'm here. Oh yeah, we're good. Golden. Okay. Have a listen. See if we hear any leaks. Probably gonna have to prime the fuel pump a couple times. Ooh. Okay. I don't know why she started revving to the fucking moon. All right, let's double check the vacuum lines. Okay. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Sounds like there's a huge vacuum leak somewhere. Which is why it's trying to take off to mock Jesus. I don't see anything obvious. It's trying like to go straight to limiter, which is impressive. Not what we want to do. It's literally trying to fucking go in a danger zone. Let me go through and retighten all the bolts, see if that changes it. All right, pretty sure I got it fixed this time, but let's go ahead and check. Bingo. That's the way it's supposed to sound. Also, I don't know what's going on with this. Might have to fix that. But yeah. idling steadily at 800. But yeah, so I just went through and retightened them all a couple of different times. Turned the truck on, or turned the Jeep on, let it heat up, cut it back off, retightened them, cut it back on, retightened them. Basically just a bunch of on-off cycles. And basically it's just working that gasket together with the side of the head, and then also the intake manifold, and working that new gasket in, and then retightening the bolts. And that's all I did. Just make sure you get them really tight. I thought I had them tight when I used the Ugga Dugga. No, you guys are gonna want a ratchet. Probably use power tools to get them, you know, tight enough, and then go back through them while you're already there with a ratchet, and just crank them. Like, not snap bolts crank them, but like pretty close. So yeah, still don't have that drive shaft. Like I said, I have to go to the junkyard and scoop me up one of those. But as far as us leaking and stuff, I'm probably gonna try to fix this exhaust, because it's a little low. Also, I need to do the out the back piece as well. So, but my fuel mileage was already kind of bad because of the cracks and stuff, so I knew I already needed to do this. And it's just one less thing I got to do. Drive shaft ain't gonna take very long. I mean, that's a couple of bolts, really, and just honestly, it's just putting the U-joints in, the new U-joints. But yeah, guys, thank y'all for watching this video, and make sure you guys like, subscribe, and comment. Tell me if you like more of the instructional videos, or if you just want me to just kind of do a brief, you know, hey, this is what we did, this is what we didn't do. Please give me all the feedback, because you know, I don't know unless you tell me. But yeah, thank y'all for watching, and keep on beating it.